With the NBA Summer League starting up, we're going to see a lot of young players showcase their skills in Vegas. So that inspired today's video of me talking about every NBA team's best young player right now. I did put an age limit on this. You have to be younger than 25 years old. So once you hit your 25th birthday, you are out of the equation here. Some teams have a really good player under the age of 25, maybe a franchise-altering player, and some teams, it may be an end-of-the-bench guy. And if you guys do enjoy these style videos, I would appreciate it if you drop a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments, would you want to see me do a video ranking every team's young core? I could do that, and obviously we're going to do a top 25 under 25 as we get into the off season, and it's dog days pretty much later on. So yeah, let's get into this. So we're going to start off with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they have one of the best young players in the league. You could make an argument he's the best young player that's going to be mentioned in this video, and it's Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards broke out on the scene last year. He ended up beating the Phoenix Suns in 4 games in round number 1 as the Timberwolves' best player, and then helped the Wolves beat the reigning NBA champion Denver Nuggets in round 2 in 7 games. Anthony Edwards posted 26 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 5 assists last year, shot 46% from the field and 35% from 3. He also was just 22 years old throughout the 2024 season. He's going to be on Team USA in the Summer Olympics, and he's obviously a franchise building block for the Minnesota Timberwolves. So SGA has graduated from this list. He hit his 25th birthday. So for the OKC Thunder, you could go with Jalen Williams, but I am going to go with Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren was a rookie last year. He was injured throughout his first possible year in the NBA in the 2022 season, and last year he was phenomenal. He would have won Rookie of the Year if it wasn't for some other stud that's going to be in this video. Chet averaged 16.5 points, 8 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. He shot 53% from the field, 37% from 3, and 79% from the line. He was the second best player on an OKC Thunder team that was the 1 seed in the Western Conference. He's an elite 3-point shooter for someone that's 7'1". He's an elite rim protector right now as well. Just needs to work on the rebounds and his physicality inside a little bit, and he could be a top 15 player in the league one day. Jamal Murray's older than 25. Michael Porter Jr. is older than 25. So for the Denver Nuggets, we got to talk about Christian Braun. Christian Braun was the 21st overall pick in the 2022 NBA draft out of Kansas, where he won a national title during the 2022 season there. And then his rookie year in the NBA in the 2023 season, he won an NBA championship with the Denver Nuggets and played meaningful minutes for that Nuggets team as well. In 2024, he averaged 7 points, 4 rebounds, and assists and a half a night, shot 46% from the field and 38% from 3. And now that the Denver Nuggets lost KCP in that 3-and-D 2-guard role to the Orlando Magic this offseason, Christian Braun is going to have a much larger role in 2025 and onward. For Portland, you could go with Scoot Henderson, but you know, after a down year last year, I don't think he's the best young player on this team under the age of 25. That goes to Shaedon Sharpe. Yeah, with Anthony Simons just turning 25 the other month, we're going to go with Shaedon Sharpe here, the Canadian, who did have somewhat of a disappointing year 2 in the league after a very encouraging rookie season. Sharpe only appeared in 32 games due to injury. His efficiency wasn't great, but I do think his game is trending in the right direction. He's going to be a 3-level scorer with his elite athleticism, and he's still just 21 years old, pretty much going to be 21 throughout his whole year 3. He is super young. He didn't even play college basketball. He pretty much came to the NBA straight out of high school. And while stock is low on Shaedon Sharpe, you better buy it right now. With the down year that Walker Kessler had last year, I'm going to go with Keyonte George as their best young player right now in Utah. Keyonte George is just 20 years old. He was the 16th overall pick in the 2023 NBA draft. He put up 13 points, 3 rebounds, and 4.5 assists a night in his rookie season, shot 33% from 3 and 85% from the line. He did have his inefficiencies as a rookie guard would have, but George looks like he can be a combo guard in this league for years to come. He can play make a little bit, but he could be an elite shooter. There's a lot of competition for this feat in Utah this year. It could be Taylor Hendricks, could be Walker Kessler, who I just mentioned, could be Cody Williams or Isaiah Collier, one of their rookies as well, or maybe it's somebody they get in a Lowry market and trade package, which seems inevitable. For the Indiana Pacers, it's an obvious one. It's Tyrese Haliburton. He's still just 24 years old. Haliburton just led the Indiana Pacers to a conference finals appearance this year in his 4th year in the NBA. He put up 20 points, 4 rebounds, and 11 assists in the 2024 season in 69 games. He was an All-NBA member. He was an All-Star starter, shot 48% from the field, 36% from 3, and 85% from the line. He's one of the best playmakers and facilitators in the league. He's also playing for Team USA in this upcoming Summer Olympics with Anthony Edwards, and he is one of the best young guards in this league and one of the best young players in this league overall. For the Detroit Pistons, it's going to be Cade Cunningham from the 2021 draft class. Maybe not the ideal start to Cade Cunningham's career. He was solid in his rookie year, more so in the second half, but he only played 12 games in year number 2 as a sophomore. The Pistons won 19 games that season. Then they added Cade Cunningham, and they won 3 less games with him, him, but Cade is still a 3-level scorer, elite playmaking potential, and in my opinion, it can still be a solid defender in this league. We're going to see him under a new head coach in JB Bickerstaff this year. He did get that rookie extension already from the Detroit Pistons, and I never sold my Cade Cunningham stock. I still believe he'd be the #1 overall pick in a 2021 redraft, and I'm going to die on that hill right now. So we talked about elite young players, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Haliburton, but for the Milwaukee Bucks, we're going to talk about MarJon Beauchamp. So yeah, there's not a lot of young guys to choose from in Milwaukee. You could take Andre Jackson, one of their rookies in AJ Johnson or Tyler Smith. I'm going to go with Beauchamp, who showed some potential after the 2023 season, but Doc Rivers, Adrian Griffin at the time, and I think just the Bucks development staff really failed him in his second year. Beauchamp appeared in 48 games, 12 minutes a night, 4.5 points, 2 rebounds, and shot 49% from the field. I really hope that he has a much larger role in this Bucks offense in his year 3 season, or maybe somebody like AJ Johnson or Tyler Smith, a rookie from this past draft class, is going to emerge as their best young player. I think one of the toughest ones came down to the Cleveland Cavaliers. It was between Darius Garland or Evan Mobley, and when you take into defense as well as offense, I'm going to go with Evan Mobley as the Cavs' best young player. I do think we'd look at Evan Mobley completely differently if he was a full-time starting center, but they just refused to break up him and Jarrett Allen going forward. Garland did have a down year last year as well. If I made this video a year ago, it definitely would have been Darius Garland after his really impressive 2023 season. Mobley in 2024 put up 15.5 points, 9.5 rebounds, and 3 assists a night. He shot 58% from the field and 37% from 3, and is still playing elite defense. He was on all defensive first team in the 2023 season and was 3rd in defensive player of the year voting. And we can see a big year from Evan Mobley in year number 4 if Kenny Atkinson utilizes him a little bit differently. It's a new era of Chicago Bulls basketball. They moved on from DeMar DeRozan. We like to think that they are going to move on from Zach LaVine at one point as well. Their best young player right now is Coby White, who was last year's breakout stud. White is 24 years old. He's from the 2019 draft class, and he improved his game in every aspect offensively last year. He averaged 19 points, 4.5 rebounds, 5 assists in 79 games for the Bulls, shot 45% from the field, 38% from 3, and 84% from the line. He improved his ability as a playmaker, as a rebounder, and in my opinion, as a defender as well, and gave Chicago a legit building block on a fantastic contract as well that he agreed to in the 2023 offseason. The LA Lakers is kind of tough as well. I almost went Dalton Connect, who was their 17th overall pick in this past NBA draft, but I'm going to go with Max Christie. They just committed $32 million to him over 4 years this past offseason. Christie, like MarJon Beauchamp, hasn't fully broken out yet. He played 67 games last year, but only 14 minutes a night on average, put up 4 points, 2 rebounds, shot 36% from 3. But I do believe in JJ Redick, who's going to get the most out of Max Christie in year number 3, and I think we could see a breakout year from the former Michigan State Spartan. But for the Phoenix Suns, I have to go with a rookie, and it's going to be Ryan Dunn, their first-round pick out of Virginia. The other candidates were David Roddy, Jalen Bridges, another rookie, Osei Agudoro, another rookie, and Nasir Little. And in my opinion, I do think he's better than Nasir Little already, just because Ryan Dunn is going to be an elite defender out of the gate. Obviously, he needs to work on his outside shot, but if that falls, he could be an absolute steal where he went in the 2024 draft. Like the Suns and the Lakers, the Clippers don't really have a deep young core either, so we're going to go with Bones Hyland, who was the 26th overall pick in the 2021 draft. He's 23 years old. He's had an up and down career so far in this league. He was drafted by the Denver Nuggets, but was then traded to the LA Clippers in the 2023 season. And he put up pretty much career lows last year, 7 points, 2.5 assists, and shot 38% from the field and 32% from 3. It's a big make or break year for Bones Hyland in this Clippers offense. I just think he's proven a little bit more than other guys you could have went with, like their new rookie Cam Christie or last year's first round pick in Kobe Brown. Shout out to the Sacramento Kings making a big move this offseason, picking up DeMar DeRozan. Obviously, he's a lot older than the criteria for this video, but it's going to be Keegan Murray, who's going to be playing alongside DeRozan next year in Sac. Keegan Murray is 23 years old. He was the 4th overall pick in the 2022 NBA draft. He was an elite shooter at Iowa, and he's been an elite shooter in the NBA so far. He shot 41% from 3 on 6 attempts in his rookie year. Regressed a little bit in year number 2, but still shot 36% from downtown on 6.5 attempts. He averaged 15 points, 5.5 rebounds, and in my opinion, improved on the defensive end of the floor, especially in the play-in tournament as well against Golden State and New Orleans. I don't know if this player is still going to be on the Warriors going forward. We'll see if he's in a trade for like a Brandon Ingram or Lauri Markkanen, but in my opinion, Jonathan Kuminga is the best young player for Golden State. And now I do like their trio of Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, and Trayce Jackson-Davis. I do think Kuminga is the best one out of the 3. Obviously, he's been in the NBA for a little bit longer. This is going to be year 4 for Jonathan Kuminga, and we finally saw that breakout season in year number 3. More importantly, this was due to Draymond Green being suspended, so we got to see Kuminga in a much more expanded offensive role. Steve Kerr finally decided to play him a little bit more. He went from 9 points per game in year 2 to 16 points per game last year. He had a career high in rebounds, assists, steals, and field goal percentage, and I'm expecting another big jump from Jonathan Kuminga in year number 4 for Golden State if he's still on the team. Knicks have a lot of good players right now: Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Julius Randle, and OG Anunoby, but they're all in their late 20s, so one player I do have to go with is Miles McBride. Miles McBride was the 36th overall pick in the 2021 NBA draft, and this dude has been an absolute beast in the role he's been given. The Knicks signed him to an elite contract extension in the 2024 season. He appeared in 68 games last year, 8 points a night, 45% from the field, 41% from 3, 86% from the line, and was giving them elite point of attack defense as well. And McBride also played phenomenal in round 1 against Philadelphia, averaging 11 points and shot 48% from the field and 43% from 3. For the Brooklyn Nets, they did move on from Mikal Bridges, but we're going to talk about Cam Thomas, who was the 27th overall pick in the 2021 NBA draft, and there's a chance Cam Thomas next year could average north of 25 points per game with Bridges gone. Thomas finished 7th in most improved voting last year. He went from 10 points a night in year 2 in 2023 to 22.5 points a night in year number 3. He shot 44% from the field, 36% from 3, and 86% from the line, and he's somebody that could take over a game offensively. He could shoot you out of games, but Thomas is still so young in this league that this could be a very big year for him in Brooklyn. I'm really excited to see how it turns out. Philadelphia has a stud for their member in this video. It's Tyrese Maxey, who was the 21st overall pick in the 2020 draft. He is 23 years old. He's coming off an all-star 2024 season in year number 4, 26 points per game, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, shot 45% from the field, 37% from 3, and 87% from the line. I think we can all agree that Anthony Edwards is the best player from that draft class so far, but when you're talking about the second best guy, when you got Haliburton and LaMelo Ball, you have to include Tyrese Maxey in those conversations. And for the Boston Celtics, they don't really have anybody else that could fit this criteria as well as a current player. You could talk about Jordan Walsh, a second-round pick last year, but I'm going to go with their first-round pick in this 2024 NBA draft in Baylor Scheierman. Scheierman isn't going to be eligible for these type of videos for too long. He's one of the more older prospects in this most recent draft class, but he's someone that can knock down threes. He could play make, and I'm really excited to see him in Joe Mazzulla's offensive system in his rookie season for a team trying to win a championship. You could go with a few guys for the Houston Rockets, but it was pretty much between Jalen Green or Alperen Sengun. I'm going to go with Alperen Sengun right now. Sengun broke out in year number 3. He was the 16th overall pick in the 2021 draft. He went from 9 points in his rookie year to 14 points in year 2, and then from 14 points in year 2 to 21 points per game in year number 3, 9 rebounds a night, 5 assists, over a steal, and shot 54% from the field. He finished 3rd in most improved player voting, and if the Rockets decide to keep him throughout all these trade rumors, he is a true franchise building block. Now that Luka Doncic is 25, we can't talk about him for the Dallas Mavericks, so we are going to talk about Derek Lively, who was a rookie last year for them. Lively's just 20 years old. He was the 12th overall pick in the 2023 NBA draft, and he impressed me so much. I did not think he was going to be utilized this much and relied on this much as a 19-year-old rookie for Dallas, a team that ended up going to the NBA Finals. Lively put up 9 points, 7 rebounds a night for Dallas, and shot 75% from the field, and was so important to this team over the 2024 season before they got Daniel Gafford and even after they got Daniel Gafford. Let's not forget about Ja Morant, right? Like, Ja Morant is one of the better players in the NBA overall, let alone one of the better point guards in this league. Ja Morant is going to be going into year number 6, which is making me feel kind of old, but his season last year was obviously cut short. He was suspended for the first 25 games, only appeared in 9 games after coming back, and then had season-ending shoulder surgery. Ja Morant is someone that's going to put up 25 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds a night, and is going to take over games with his elite athleticism and elite decision making. Gotta talk about Victor Wembanyama here for the San Antonio Spurs. He was 19 years old to start his NBA career last year. He's just 20 right now. He had one of the greatest rookie seasons I've ever seen. He was the 2024 block champion. He won Rookie of the Year. He was on all defensive first team, all rookie first team, finished runner-up in defensive player of the year voting. He averaged 21 points, 10.5 rebounds, 4 assists a night, shot 47% from the field. He may be looked at as a top 15 player in the league in year number 2, and he's going to be such a star for Team France in the Olympics this summer. We finally got to see a healthy Zion Williams season last year in his 5th year in the NBA. He appeared in 70 games, averaged 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists a night. We finally got to see Point Zion, which was really effective for Willie Green and the New Orleans Pelicans. Unfortunately, he did get hurt in the first leg of the play-in tournament, so he did miss the second game against Sacramento, but I'm really excited to see a fully healthy Zion going into year number 6 along with Ja Morant. Another guy I'm really hoping that is going to be fully healthy next year is going to be LaMelo Ball from the 2020 draft class. LaMelo Ball averaged 24 points, 5 rebounds, and 8 assists a night last year in 22 games before having a season-ending injury with an ankle. And that's been the story of LaMelo's career so far. He's been constantly hurt outside of his sophomore season, but in my opinion, Melo has the intangibles, the physicals, and the style of play to be one of the better players in the NBA, and I hope he buys into Charlotte this year and can stay fully healthy. The Miami Heat don't have a great young talent crop right now. You could talk about Nikola Jovic, you could talk about Jaime Jaquez, but it's still Tyler Hero, who's just 24 years old. Hero was the 13th overall pick in the 2019 draft class. He averaged 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 4.5 assists a night last year for the Miami Heat in 42 games. He was banged up at times. He's pretty much been a 20-point per game scorer with 5 rebounds and 4 assists over the last 3 seasons. The one knock on Hero's game is, could he lead an offense? We didn't really see that in round 1 against Boston with Jimmy Butler hurt, and the Miami Heat went to the NBA Finals without him in the 2023 season. With Trae Young older than 24 right now, we're going to talk about the Hawks breakout star from last year's season, Jalen Johnson. It could be the number 1 overall pick, Zachary Sachet, at the end of the 2025 season, but for right now, it is Jalen Johnson, who's just still 22 years old. Like Alperen Sengun, he improved every single year of his career, but really broke out in year number 3 in 2024, where he averaged 16 points, 9 rebounds, and 3.5 assists a night, shot 51% from the field, 36% from 3, and is a great athletic stretch for Atlanta, and I'm excited to watch him in year number 4 as possibly the number 2 next to Trae Young. For Washington, it definitely would have been Denny Avdia, but they ended up trading him to Portland. You could talk about Alex Sarr, the 2nd overall pick, but for right now, I'm going to talk about Bilal Coulibaly, who was the 7th overall pick for Washington in the 2023 draft. Coulibaly impressed me right out of the gate. I thought he was going to be more of a project play in year 1, maybe get to spend some time in the G League, but he put up 8.5 points, 4 rebounds, 44% from the field, 35% from 3 for a really dysfunctional Wizards team throughout the 2024 season. And Bilal grew over the offseason. He showed great defensive potential last year, good ball handling ability, and I think he could be a breakout star in just year number 2. I'm so excited to watch Bilal in Washington next year alongside Alex Sarr, who could be the nominee for next year's version of this video. For the Toronto Raptors, it's an easy one. It's got to be Scottie Barnes, who just got a rookie max extension by the Raptors. Barnes won Rookie of the Year out of the loaded 2021 draft class. He kind of was stagnant in year number 2 in the 2023 season, but broke out again in the 2024 season, was an all-star in year number 3, put up 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists, had a steal and a half a night, a block and a half a night, and shot 48% from the field, and is a legitimate franchise building block for Toronto in the long term. And finally, for the Orlando Magic, it's an easy one. It is Paolo Banchero, one of the better players that we are going to mention in this video. Paolo is just 21 years old, averaged 22.5 points, 7 rebounds, and 5.5 assists last year for the Orlando Magic, who went to a Game 7 in round number 1 against Cleveland. Paolo was fantastic in that series. He won Rookie of the Year in 2023. He was an all-star last year. He was on Team USA in the FIBA World Cup last summer as well, and I'm really excited to watch Paolo in year number 3 because I legitimately think he's one of the very few players mentioned in this video that could lead a team to a championship as the number 1 option. So that is going to be it for me. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, let me know by dropping a thumbs up, and like I said, let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with any of these selections, and let me know as well, do you want to see me rank every team's young core? Because it's going to be kind of funny looking at like the Suns, Lakers, and Clippers young cores compared to the Thunder, the Spurs, and the Houston Rockets. So yeah, that's going to be it for me, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.